This is Polykill, where two men, outnumbered by their games and at war with time, undertake the quest of defeating their lengthy backlogs. Please adjust your seat and prepare your ears for the banter of your hosts, Jake and Travis.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Polykill podcast. As always, we're your hosts. I'm Travis, and I'm sitting across from the one and only Jake. He's a little moody, but he's got a good booty. How's it doing, Jake?
It's doing fine, I guess. I don't know. Nah, it's fine. All's good.
Good, man.
Well enough.
If you're new to the show, what can you expect?
Well, you can expect a little back and forth, the twixtest. We'll talk about some video games, maybe some that we've played, maybe some that we bought, maybe some that we've beaten, and then some few that we're looking forward to. And today, we've got some listener questions for our topic of discuss. So, we put it out there because both of us have been respectively fully occupied with life and just haven't had a lot of time, but you guys have forced us into making this really long episode with all these questions. So I hope you're ready.
There were a lot of questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions. I just kept scrolling. I was like, well, god damn.
Yeah, so it should be a fun episode. And before we get to that, of course, we have to go through our recent pickups and what is on the radar. I picked up a couple things. One, my game store owning buddy down the road here.
Oh, yeah. At Super Game Station.
Super Game Station. Or Stage.
Stage.
He said I'm number one.
You're number one now.
Yeah, did I tell you this?
I do remember this, actually.
I am his NES number one. So when he gets in a rarity, he has a pecking order. Okay. From which he texts, and he said the former number one got booted down to number three because he cut the guy a good deal, and the guy bitched a little bit about the condition. He's like, I already took a lot of money off. I don't feel like you get to complain. You saw pictures of it before you bought it. That kind of thing.
Essentially, looking the gift horse in the mouth, in a manner of speaking.
Right.
Yeah. Checking them teeth.
Mm-hmm. And I was already number two at that point. I also know who number three was, who's now number two. Okay. We have sort of a turf war going on. Right. It's maybe friendly on the outside, but I will stab you, Bobby Hash, if I see you anywhere near my store. But no, he texted me shortly after I started my paternal leave and was like, hey, man, do you have Mule, which is an NES game? It's not too rare, runs about $20. Okay. It's a turn-based strategy colonization game.
I would have never guessed that with a name like Mule.
I know, right? And I couldn't even tell you what
Mule. I really thought it would be like a Jackass game, like where you played as a jackass and you just tried to kick fruit or something.
Yeah. Well, it stands for multiple use labor element, and it is in the shape of sort of a mule, and you use you have to get those to help you.
Wow, that makes no sense.
That's just what I know.
Unless it's just some commentary on a certain party that uses a donkey as their.
Oh yeah, we won't even go there.
I don't know.
But yeah, so he hooked me up. He hooked me up there. So he gave me a little bit off. Told me, congrats on parenthood, here's your game, and he'll text me when the next one comes in, so that was good.
Well, that's rad.
And the other one, I got jonesing for more Switch games, and you and I have talked about this. When I want to buy a Switch game from the eShop, it cannot be a game that also exists physically.
Or might. Right. If there are rumors afloat that there might be a physical edition. Because I tried to, talk you into buying Hollow Knight, and you're like, yeah, I won't do it because there's a physical edition. Well, that got canceled.
Did it really?
It did get canceled. So
go nuts is what you're saying?
Well, here's the thing. I can't imagine that super rare or strictly limited or limited run or somebody won't do this game. It's super popular. It makes a lot of sense to have a version of it, but there is nothing in the works at this moment. So if you're jonesing for a cute little Metroidvania that'll kick your ass, then maybe jump on in. It's worth it. $15 is a lot of game. Just saying.
I know. I hear you loud and also clear, very clearly. Very clear. So yeah, back to that though. I struggled with it because there were a lot of good deals on the eShop this weekend, it being Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all the in between. And I was jonesing for another game to play, and I'm going to talk about some of the ones I did play and finish. But I saw Mutant League Football on Target thing because I eventually just gave up on the eShop. I was like, look, all the games I want are probably going to get a physical release. I'll just hold up there.
Right.
And I saw this game. It was like $7 on some Black Friday deal. I think it usually goes for $20.
It was $7.
$7.50, something like that.
How come I didn't see this? Because I totally would have picked it up. Obviously,
I don't know. I could also be making up the price.
Oh, so maybe it was more than $7.50?
No, maybe. I don't know. It definitely wasn't less. I'll say that.
Okay.
But yeah, so Mutant League Football or Mutant Football League.
Right.
Mutant League Football is a different game.
It is.
From the old, I guess this is supposed to be a derivative of that.
Probably.
And, I kind of joined. I mean, it's kind of sports, kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of funsies. So, I don't know. I'll probably play it.
Cool.
I got a lot of bottle feeding to do. Fucking put the baby on that shoulder and play over here.
Yeah, there you go.
Do that whole thing. The Switch is a dead machine.
Yeah.
Boy, I can get some Switches.
We've heard this, and now you're further testimonial.
I got a little bit coming up later. I'll tell you what I've been switching on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then on my radar,
What's
I'll
on
just
your
go ahead
radar?
and get that out of the way.
Okay.
Just Cause 4.
Okay.
And as I said back during, I guess it was this E3, or maybe it was the year before. It was this year.
I think it was this year, yeah.
I'm in it for that tornado, baby.
It looks insane, right?
I want to ride the Storm out. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's really the thing that's, I mean, I don't care about Rico and Just Cause 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Never cared about that stuff.
Yeah.
They made for good GIFs on Reddit.
Yeah, they're just kind of like
Chaos Simulator or Chaos Generator.
Right, a physics,
Right, you don't care about
demo.
the
It's like
story.
Goat Simulator. It's just what the fuck can happen.
Exactly. But this, adding that element of weather.
Yeah.
And I'm
That's
kind of
big.
interested in how that's going to go. So I'm not going to get it out the gate. It's going to be
Right, yeah.
a $10 game before you know it, or free even on something.
Who knows? Yeah.
I'll wait it out. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, why do they keep making these?
Yeah, truthfully, why?
Like, why?
Because they seem like they're decent budget games.
Right. I mean,
they
they're
can't
not
make a ton of money though.
I know. And then I realized, why they're making them. Just cause.
Ah, you son of a bitch!
Sucker drew it into that one.
You did.
Yeah,
Oh man, I thought you had something deep there.
No. And that's almost kind of seems like the mentality.
It seems like the right answer.
Yeah, it's just like, we can do this. What can we do? We can, strap a rocket to a Jeep and fly it into a jet while you grapple hook a leader of a despot, and I don't know. It seems crazy for its own sake, and it's just kind of like just cause we can do it, so we are.
And if they stop
it's
making
its own justification.
If they did stop making it within 10 years, there'd be a fan-made version called Just Because.
Right. Yes, because it's the B version.
Yeah,
not the AAA version.
My pen wasn't as good as yours, but
mine was good. I've been holding on to that one for a week. Nice. Okay, so for pickups for me, I did grab a few here. Now, I did not go out into the maelstrom and melee that is Black Friday, but a lot of businesses, it seemed like this year, extended their Black Friday sales through the weekend, and then Cyber Monday turned into Cyber Week for a lot of people. That being the case, GameStop actually had some really good deals online and in store. So I looked at what they had to offer, and they were offering a few games that had been on my radar in past episodes and in general. Most notably, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's a game that I think dropped in September or October. It's not terribly old. It's still a $60 retail title, and it was $27. So I pounced on that.
Yeah.
And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider, also $27. So I've been wanting both of these, so it's like, here's both of these games for less than the cost of one of them normally. So
yeah, absolutely.
I canceled my Fallout 76 pre-order and just cashed it in on those.
Nice.
It was a smart move on my part.
And two, I would say in any other year, they would be highly touted in the running Game of the Year titles.
I think for sure Assassin's Creed Odyssey is still will probably end up on some lists, but it's not going to win. But it's going to end up on some list. I know, it's crazy.
The year we've had, these are budget titles.
I know, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's insane. Lastly, but not leastly, so I don't really care about Toys to Life stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, I have Amiibo, but it's not really Toys to Life.
Yeah,
so
mine's never come to life.
Yeah. But anyway, there's a little game called Starlink Battle for Atlas, another Ubisoft and Nintendo sort of collab.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is our friend Musty Hobbit? Is he?
He was on board with this. He was on board with this. I remember him tweeting some stuff about it.
Musty Hobbit of the Second Breakfast YouTube channel, of course.
Yes. However, point being is they have a starter kit for the Switch that includes the R-Wing and Fox McCloud, like the toys. Mm-hmm. And the thing's pretty cool. It's basically like a ship, and it's got 2 slots on the side to snap your Joy-Con in. So that's cool. So you actually like use the ship as a controller in a way.
So you've messed with this.
I've messed with it. I opened it up. I have it. I bought it. It's
Okay.
normally $75, and I found it for $35.
Now, did you get this a little bit because of the collection?
I did get it because of the collection.
Okay.
But I am also really curious to play this, and I kind of want to play a Star Fox game. And I know Star Fox Zero just dropped on the Wii U. I don't think that's coming to Switch anytime soon.
Yeah, it should.
Because it should, but I know it wasn't loved in general.
Yeah.
But this is like, I've watched a few YouTube personalities that I kind of like follow, and they're like, "This is good. This is good. This is almost like a No Man's Sky kind of thing, but with Star Fox." And I was like,
"But good."
Yeah, and like Star Fox is like in the story a lot. Like they were like, I was really surprised at how present Fox McCloud is in this narrative. So I was like, "Well, I'm down."
That does sound neat.
So anyway, yeah, those are my pickups. It's the biggest haul I've had in a while is for I guess marquee titles anyway.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Starlink. I guess when I found it was kind of a Toys to Life thing, I distanced myself from the coverage of it. But
I did,
and
then I saw like the gameplay and I saw people talking about it, and then I was like, well, here it is, $45 off, well, $40 off basically. I was like, that's
good deal.
That's a hefty discount.
And if you're going to collect it, you never know, something like that. It doesn't sell well. I don't know what. I mean, it probably does sell well because it got Fox in it, but
right.
It could go from being sort of expensive out the gate and then never really going below $50,
right.
and then becomes a collectible and it just goes back up. So
you never know.
You never know where the bottom is. So
right.
I mean, I think half price is a good deal.
Yeah, I was really tickled to get it. I haven't even played it yet. It's still wrapped up in the game itself.
Right, but you tested the little.
Yeah, I swished that thing around the house a lot. So
Amy's cooking dinner and you're flying around.
Do a barrel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I have nothing on my radar because it's the end of the year, and I'm just not feeling really anything. I know Smash Brothers Ultimate is coming, and that's going to be huge for a lot of people. Sell a lot of systems. Everyone's excited about it, and I'm just kind of not. I'll get it eventually because of the collection and because I probably will try it again because I haven't played one since the 64.
It's so bad, man, and it's such a community game.
It's it's very strong, living kind of game, and I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
To living games.
I don't either.
That's why I don't play Fortnite or
exactly.
And I've tapered off on Overwatch. It's just because I'm like, I can't keep up with this.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
Well, next week or next episode, we won't even have it on the radar because there are really no games coming out at that point of the year.
Right. Yeah.
Unless we dug really deep for like some Android,
who knows,
iOS games or something like that. But
something, Gems of War.
Yeah.
Pack or something. I don't know.
So we're just, and it's crazy how quick it turns because you go off of, sort of later in the year you had Spider-Man, then we just had Red Dead, and then Just Cause is sort of the last big one, and then it's like, it's nothing until really early February it starts to pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it'll be a while before we have more radarness. But what happened last time?
Let's check it out.
Previously on Polykill, Trav comes in hot off a fresh baby and Jake is tired just because. Pam of Cannot Be Tamed YouTube fame joins in to share her radar backlog and beats. Jake finished Turok, Trav finished Shantae and Bloodstained on the Switch, and Pam completed a handful of lesser known titles like Return of the Oberdin and Do Not Feed the Monkeys. It's all about our favorite true crime podcast and true crime influenced games for the topic of discuss.
And we're back. Boy, that was a fun episode. I enjoyed so much having Pam on.
Yeah, I was worried that like we were going to come off as just like, I don't know, like half alive on the show.
Oh, because of the sleepiness.
Right, because we were both really at low points in terms of how many hours we spent in REM sleep. But it turned out well, I think.
I still haven't hit REM sleep since that episode.
Yeah, nice.
Actually,
you're dreaming right now. This isn't happening.
But no, Pam was a lot of fun, man, and she brings her wealth of knowledge about a lot of games. I mean, just so many games. Like she has a lot of experience with especially from the computer side, which I didn't have.
Right, exactly.
So it's fun to hear her talk about like the adventure stuff and all that stuff. So I'd love to have her back on, and maybe we talk more about like some computer games and that kind of thing because she could really. I mean, she could help this podcast out in that regard, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're just console plebes.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, a lot of fun. So thanks to Pam for coming on. Thank you guys for listening to that one. We're going to move into games that we've completed or retired.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't retire them many, though.
It's been a while. Yeah, and who knows? That might be part of our New Year's resolution.
Yeah,
it's just like, you know what? You're off the team.
You're off the team there, Mike. So... in Musty, I think it was Musty Hobbit once again. He brought up an interesting thing that we could do at the end of the year, which is just nuke the backlog.
Well, I've seriously been considering that too.
Yeah.
Just turning both of those keys at the same time and hitting that big red button that says nuke on it.
Yeah.
And just seeing what happens and see how liberated I feel about that.
Maybe have a couple episodes where we slowly add things back on.
Just build it back on slowly. Yeah, not just pile things on.
Yeah, because right now I'm looking back at it, it's stale. It's not, a lot of that stuff isn't moving, and I'm not interested in playing a lot of it right now.
I have so many things I'm not interested in playing.
Yeah, so we might do that. I think we still need to get, before March Madness, get enough on there to kick, because that's always fun. The tournament's always fun. Yeah, we have
to do that.
So we'll have to add a few more back on. But anyway, games that we've completed, Jake, take us through what your last couple weeks been like. What's your excuse this time?
I've just been playing Red Dead, and I haven't beaten it. Like, I've played nothing else.
Yeah? Not even Xenoblade. You love that.
I love it. I have not played it.
Okay, and there was something else you were tooling around in. Did you do any Fallout 76? You did
I played
beta,
the beta and talked about it last time.
And you say,
or a time
say
before.
It like that because it's
British.
It's British.
It's
That's
not,
how they would say
right.
it.
The game is not British, nor is it set in Great Britain. I just said beta.
If you're British and that's how you say beta,
right.
Let us know.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, but no, I didn't beat anything. I'm around 57 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2. And am 52% complete with the game.
Wow. Now, I was astonished at how quickly, because I'll touch on this a little bit later.
Go ahead.
Playing, but I, having not played very much of it, already at 10% through the story. Does it just take off real quick there at the beginning, and then you start to branch out?
Because, at first, all you're doing is story.
All right, okay.
And then, once you get to where you are now, you have the option to just abandon it completely.
It makes me feel like the storyline itself isn't long.
It is.
It is long.
It is. It's more based, from what I can tell, on chapter completion.
I see.
Rather than actual missions.
I understand that now. Okay.
Yeah. Because that first chapter has 6 or 7 missions in it.
Yeah. I think
and then the next chapter has 25 or 30.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the next one has 25 or 30. So the chapters grow in size.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're still enjoying it. Maybe we do a shout out here to the podcast you were on.
Sure, yeah. The Cartridge Club Game of the Month for the month of November was Red Dead Redemption 2. So it was really cool kind of being a part of that first foray into having a kind of big AAA game that's current and fairly newly released as part of the Game of the Month. And I was on the podcast where Rocket, Josh Leslie, and Musty Hobbit discussed that game at great length. We did discuss up through chapter 3 and early chapter 4 spoilers. So if you're not that far, I would suggest waiting until you at least get that far.
You're not spoiling the whole game.
Right.
You guys only had
because honestly, very few of us had beaten it anyway.
Right.
So yeah,
that's a good way to do it. I'm glad the club embraced a newer game.
Right. It was really cool.
And but I think it's a smart thing to do is for a game of that scale,
right,
to not try to spoil the whole thing. Just,
and
because you're going to get a lot of the basics in terms of the way stories are told and all that stuff pretty early on.
Yeah, it's the formula of the way the story is delivered is predictable, rockstar fare. But a lot of the podcast was us just talking about our experiences within the game. Whether it's the random encounters or the side missions or just things that happen in the world. And it was really fun to see how we'd all play the game roughly to the same amount. I think Rocket or Ryan had finished the game before the podcast, so we had experienced more. But we'd all played mostly the same stuff, but we all had some pretty divergent experiences.
It's a neat thing about games like this.
And I loved that. So yeah, anyway, was on that podcast, so go check it out if you're inclined.
Yeah, so you'd want to track down the Cartridge Club, I guess Cartridge Club Prime podcast.
Yep.
Find it that way.
Yep.
You can also check out the forums on cartridgeclub.org.
Yeet.
It is there. Okay, so let's talk about some games that actually got beat, Jake, and I'll take over here because I actually do beat games.
Yeah, you do.
I beat a lot of these. Last couple weeks I've been busy. To say the least. All you other parents out there know. Even if you're not a parent, I'm not talking down to people. I always hated that when other people that had kids thought that I just wouldn't understand what having a kid was like. I get it. Yeah. It does eat up a lot of your time, but there are some times where the little fucking thing sleeps.
Right, yeah.
And you're just there, and once you get over like staring at how cute it is, eventually you're like, all right, I kind of want to do something else. And so
I don't want to overexpose myself to how cute my child is.
Exactly. You don't want to.
Keep it special.
Keep it special. And so a couple of games that I play. One, Bulb Boy.
Bulb Boy. Now, this is a Switch game.
Yeah, it's a downloadable.
It's probably on other things too.
I think it's PC too. It's an adventure-y game. Boy, is it weird though.
Yeah, you said it was weird on the twits.
God, it's so weird. It gives me. It has like that icky feel of a Binding of Isaac.
I like that
style-wise.
Okay.
The story is even weird. I mean, it's so weird that I honestly can't put enough words to describe how weird it is. But I'll give you the essential flavors that I think you're a bulb.
Okay.
Like a light bulb.
Okay.
And you have a light bulb granddad or father, and a dog that can fly. He's not a bulb. He's just a dog that flies. And you got to basically do these little puzzles.
Okay.
Really, very little of it refers to the fact that you are a bulb.
You just
are a bulb.
Oh, you just are. Okay.
Which I think is kind of a weird thing. I kind of wanted more bulb-related stories, but
I like light bulbs. I want my bulb stories.
I know. I'm a lighting scientist. I wanted some more lightage.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is neat though, because it is it's hue of green.
Right. I've seen the screenshots and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of green and gray.
I wouldn't discourage anyone from playing this game, but if you're the type of person that thinks that games are often a little too silly, this one is definitely off the rails, kind of silly and weird. So you have to keep that in mind. It won't be your favorite game if you play it. I'll tell you that. So, sure. But it was 2 hours or so, some puzzles, some good laughs. I mean, not good laughs, but like I chuckled a few times at just how ridiculous it was. Another one was X-Men Mojo World.
Yeah, now this is a Game Gear title.
It is. And I got an idea when I ran out of Switch games to play at one point.
You're like, I want to play another handheld.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I don't give enough attention to that fucking Game Gear.
Game Gear.
And I was also thinking maybe, and I was going to ask your permission, if I could, because I told you I have these Master System games and I can't beat any of them, if I could, that resolution, switch out a Game Gear for the Master System.
That's fine.
Cool. Well, then I beat one.
Okay.
So now I got just a few more to go on that resolution. I think maybe it's still in the works. I could maybe still do it.
So, okay.
Mojo World, X-Men Mojo World is garbage.
Garbage.
It is...
now that's French for trash.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is just... it's such a basic game. You pick an X-Men character. You're one of two at the beginning. You're either Wolverine or not. They don't tell you their names. You just have to guess what they are based on their outfit.
Okay.
And so the other one was a lady. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know X-Men enough.
Fair enough.
But each level, it sort of adds an X-Men to the roster. So if you die, you can go pick another one.
Okay.
I just stuck with Wolverine the whole time.
Well, of course.
You walk left or right, punching. You have maybe a special move. I don't even remember because it's so dumb. And it's just a beat 'em up. It's just left to right, and it's not fun.
Not difficult. Not fun.
No, not difficult. No. And it's funny though because I found, and this is another segue. It's gonna be a long episode. I'm feeling good
fine.
today. I'm feeling good tonight.
That's all right.
I found this website, and I gave them money immediately.
Okay.
It's called retromags.com.
You told me about this thing. Yeah.
You can go there, folks. If you like your retro stuff, you can go there. Okay, get you an account, sign up. You can go there, and they have scanned in. This is all for free. They've scanned in online comic book versus .cbz files. Are you familiar?
I am.
CBR, CBZ files. So if you have a reader, you can download them. You can flip through all these old school magazines, man. And I've been doing that for a couple days now. Just digging through them, man. Any Electronic Games Monthly, anything you can think of, tips and tricks. And
did you find a review of this game? Is that what you're going to?
That's what I'm getting at.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead.
No, it's good. I was falling in love with Retro Mags, but you should go check it out. I donated $5 monthly to them because I wanted to fill it out. So it was called at the time X-Men 3 on the Game Gear. That's how I found it. It took me a while to find it. I had to dig through a couple thousand pages. I had nothing else to do. Okay. Baby wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't sleep. So I find it, and they're like, "Yeah, this game it's okay, but it's really hard. It's really hard." I'm like, "Am I? Well, it's not. It was like so. I think don't know where I was going with that, but people back then were dumb.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In 1994,
well, it was also just kind of amazing.
I don't think they played it.
That they had, a game in a Game Gear. Like honestly, that's just kind of a
they
feat.
held up the Game Gear to the light and looked at it like, there's a fucking game in here.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
What about that?
It's got color.
Yeah. That was kind of like the only selling point of any Game Gear game is that it was a Game Gear game.
Yeah, I know, right? They were just excited that it was
just like,
a
there
color
is one.
handheld. Yeah, it's not hard. I think what happened was they played the first level and was like, I don't feel like finishing it. Like, just say it's hard.
Just say it's hard.
And so
it'll make the readers feel good because it's really easy.
Yeah, it was super easy and super stupid.
How long did it take you? Is this like a 30-minute adventure? Hour maybe?
It maybe took an hour, but it's like your character moves slow and you just the levels are long. But yeah. But I mean, it was like 4 a.m. I had nothing else to do.
Fair enough.
So anyway, beat that. Talked about it way too long, and I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I don't even know what Mojo World is. That's the thing that pissed me off.
Mojo World. Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. Frankie Viper Strike, comic book aficionado, maybe he can clue us in.
Yeah, Mojo might be some character from the X-Men universe, and maybe that game is set in an alternate universe where Mojo is God or something. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, Jake, I got 2 games left here that I beat, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to save last, because I usually save the one that I love most last.
And you don't know here.
Dude, I had so much fun with both of these.
I'm very happy about that.
And I think people know I've played one of them, so I'll go ahead and get it out there. Spider-Man.
I
finished Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
10 out of 10 for me. I'm easy to please.
Sure.
I played Mojo World,
Right, yeah.
I gave it a 4.
You're not a hard sell.
I'm not a hard sell. I'll play shit up. I'll play shit out of it. Dude, what a great game. I mean, it's what everybody's been saying.
Right?
I have nothing to add, but it's so fun.
I'm glad you beat it. I know Brian and I beat it ahead of you, and we had this conversation, and we were like, once you get to the third act.
Right.
And you're like, when do you know? I'm like, well, it doesn't tell you, but you'll know. Did you know?
Well, basically, the world changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like once you start down, you feel like you're just kind of like you've been climbing up the ladder to the slide at this point.
Yeah, that's good.
And then you're like, all right, now I'm just sliding through the rest of this game. And yeah, I mean, I still think about that story and the narrative and the writing and the voice acting and like the motion capture and just like how those last bits came together. It's brilliant writing, I think.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It really was. And I can't say most, but I know a lot of games will throw, especially when you have like the Sinister Six as a recipe.
Yeah.
They'll just throw the characters in there and it doesn't really tie together well. But I thought it's a really good job of like, it didn't spend a lot of time on some of the Sinister Six.
It did not. But
it's still like they were unique to battle against.
Right. I liked the buddy system that they did with it too. I thought that was an interesting idea.
Man. I liked a lot of it. I mean, everybody should play it. I'm sure a lot of people have.
Right. It's a very well. Yeah.
I will say though, I didn't platinum the game.
Sure, I didn't either.
A lot of people did.
I got to 91% and was like, "That's."
You got 91?
91, yeah.
That's pretty good. I probably got high 80s or mid 80s, but I definitely more so than I would in most games because like you and I, we're trying to get through as many games as we can, but still savor as much as we can.
Yeah.
And so for this game, I was in that balance where toward the end of the game, I stopped zip-zopping and zooping.
Right. You just mainlined.
Well, I would walk down the street to the next marker trying to get the crimes to come up. Because I wanted to get all the crimes in a section.
That's very difficult.
That's the part that I didn't complete.
That's the grind. Yeah, everyone agrees that was a little too...
Yeah. And I enjoyed the combat. When one started up, I was ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just kind of waiting for them. And I everything that was on the map, I did. Everything that they put on the map, I beat.
Oh, yeah.
Just not the crimes. That's the only thing
that's the only thing that I left.
Yeah. So, man. Yeah. Fun game. Now, I got to ask you. Now, I feel like it wrapped up in such a way that there would not be maybe a direct sequel.
Okay.
What do you think?
There will be a direct sequel.
Is that confirmed?
No.
You just feel
I think that there will be a direct sequel.
Direct sequel.
I think that there is going to be something. And now, I think there'll be a gap in time.
It should be.
But I think... Breathe. Well, no, I mean like the story.
Oh, in the story.
In the story.
Let the story breathe.
Let the story breathe. Yeah, but I mean, I really think they have enough... Like that game was so well done that they really shouldn't leave it at that. I know, obviously, they've done some DLC stuff, which I'm interested in playing, actually. So I might get that copy back from you tonight.
Sure.
But anyway, I think that there's, they handled that game so well, Insomniac, that I think that they should do more. And I think that they will. And I think it'll be with those characters that we set up at the end, which I won't go into because I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't beaten it.
Right, and if you have, there is another podcast that Jake was on that you can check out.
Yeah, another Cartridge Club Extra. Spider-Man.
I don't want to dwell on it too long because
that's fine.
Everyone's played it. You've played it.
No, it's your time to shine. It's your podcast. You talk about the games you beat, buddy.
I share this podcast with a moody booty. I forgot what I was going to say. Shit, fuck. Anyway, I was going to say, I think the game, for as well as they did, it's interesting that everything they did, they sort of played safe. They didn't invent anything. Like we say, it's a very Ubisoft formula, and it's just executed so well. They made it. They made an. I'm not saying Ubisoft games aren't fun, but they made an Assassin's Creed / Far Cry sort of game with this heightened element, and I'm sure being Spider-Man and the excuse to zip zop zoop elevates it.
Yes,
but now that they have this sort of confidence, I'm wondering what else they could add to it now that they know
with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because literally, you phrased it right that it is along the lines of an Assassin's Creed game where you swap out Ezio for Spider-Man, put him in New York, and it's kind of the feeling. But I do think that they can take some risks now that they've sort of established. I don't think they wanted to take risks being first game out the gate from them with the Marvel property with Spider-Man. I mean, that's a big deal.
Bad licensed properties in general, not just comic books, have we had.
Right.
This one's maybe the best ever?
I think so. I can't think of a better licensed property game.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, you might make some arguments
hard right now, to be honest with you. But
you might make some arguments for some Star Wars games.
Sure.
Maybe Telltale Walking Dead. But in terms of a actual
full-fledged open world story,
game, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not going to say it's better than those, but I don't know if anything is better than it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it's near God tier.
And one parting shot here before I move on.
Yeah.
The sequel. I want to see, and again, maybe the comic book aficionado friend of the podcast, Frankie at Viper Strike, can fill us in. I want to see what a 45-year-old Spider-Man is like.
That would be interesting.
What's he like when he's got a family? Maybe he and MJ moved on. He's trying to cut back, but crime still happens. Yeah. Maybe the world's coming to an end. He's got to jump in.
Well,
Does he have aches and pains?
Yeah.
Being an old spider? I want to know this.
Probably. I mean, that's one of the reasons why people love, Batman Beyond and Old Man Logan and stuff, because you got to see those characters at a different point in their life.
The story moved forward.
Right.
That's all you needed.
Yeah, they weren't locked in time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I like this one, because it was, Peter in college.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
We finally moved past. If I had to see the uncle die again.
Yeah, I was going to hate
Jesus. All right, so the next one for me, and if you follow me on Twitter, I had a Blasty Blast McBlasterson.
Yeah.
The very Irish blast. Axiom Verge, and Jake, I had to apologize. I loved beating this game so much, and I bragged. I was like, Jake, Axiom Verge is so good. And you're like, I thought we were going to bro up that, and I was like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, we had discussed it, I want to say, at least 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing the Metroid games together. I was like, we should do Axiom Verge, just like Super Metroid.
I can't believe I forgot. I played the whole thing before I remembered. That's the crazy thing about it.
You haven't been sleeping a lot. You got a baby.
Truthfully, though, I think, and this is making fun of us and the way we play games together, I like the fact that I beat it sort of while it was all fresh, and we didn't. It wasn't 4 months between.
Oh no, you ain't wrong about that.
It made it. I mean, I'm wondering how much I would have Super Metroid. I mean, I love Super Metroid.
Yeah,
played
how much better
would it have been if we didn't have to relearn the map every time we picked it up 3 months apart? Dude, I loved it so much, and it is a spit and image.
Completely.
I don't even know what that means. Do you even know what that means?
It's a derivative of spirit and image. It's an old Southern colloquialism where spirit was pronounced spit, and spit, and it just became spit at some point.
What do you do with your free time?
I look up shit like that.
Jesus. Well, it is a spit and image of Super Metroid, so it's not a unique thing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't keep me from loving it so much.
Sure, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, it was so good, man. It was so good. Story was... Story was, fair. I mean, it had a lot more dialogue, obviously, than the Super Metroid game.
Oh, yeah.
But, it was coherent. I followed it. And I'm not saying I'm stupid and usually don't. But usually... For
a lot of games like that are kind of cryptic.
Yes.
Intentionally cryptic, yeah.
Intentionally cryptic. And if it's a side-scrolling platform, I'm in it for the funsies. I don't really care what the narrative is. But it had a decent little mystery in it, and it was really cool. And I enjoyed, that map. I know it inside and out. I would, as soon as I got a new power, I wouldn't even go forward. I would go all the way back to the beginning of the map and try it everywhere. And I probably spent longer on the game than I needed to, but I wanted everything out of it because it was so good. So
now you got the Fizz dish of this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did. Again, I haven't slept, so I don't remember when or how I picked it up.
Okay.
I really don't.
That's incredible.
But I do possess.
Did you get the multiverse or just the regular dish?
I guess regular dish.
Okay.
Oh, I do remember now. It was a used copy from GameStop.
There you
go. A few bucks off with my GameStop card.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Cool.
But man, really, really good. I mean, if you like Super Metroid, you probably already know about this game. But
sure, yeah.
I'd heard all that, and I hear Metroidvania in comparison to Super Metroid all the time.
All freaking time.
I'm unfazed by it now. But this is one where I was like, this is good.
This is it.
This is the shit. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so those are the games that beat. Now, the community. All right, guys. So we did the
talk.
Real talk for a second. We've been doing the Just Beat It videos, and they haven't really gotten like the attention we thought they might, and it's okay that they didn't. But they're a little bit of work, and we don't really have that time to dedicate to that anymore. But we want to keep the Just Beat It hashtag train rolling. We feel like
don't stop.
That's the one thing that this podcast is sort of bred that we...
Yeah, we love it.
It's going, and it's strong, and it makes us feel like we have a community, which is important. If you're a podcast, you like that, right? Everybody likes to have like their own kind of cultivated community. Please keep hashtag Just Beating It. But the way things are going to work now, we're going to highlight the Polykiller.
Yeah.
As always. Whoever beat the most games in a segment. And then instead of going through each and every tweet in those videos, and it's laborsome, and a lot of people I think use that hashtag and maybe don't even watch the video, so it's like, who's the audience? We're going to just pick a couple of the tweets that we like, and then
we like all of them, but something that's conversational.
Sure. Yeah, something that's conversational, or something that we people hadn't shared before, a game that people hadn't beat in the past.
So that's going to encourage you to give a little more context to your tweet.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe tell me a fun story about why you beat it, or how long it's been since you thought you might beat it. I don't know.
Or beat a unique game.
Sure.
And that's a good segue here. We have Jeffrey Hilliard at Self-Destructo. This is, of course, before we get into the Polykiller. We'll save that for last. He said an actual well-done full-motion video... I'm sorry, is that...
Yeah, FMV, full-motion video.
Full-motion, it says W, full-motion video game.
Okay.
X-Files, PS1. And I got to ask you, Jake, have you... I mean, I know the full-motion video phase, mid to late 90s there, it was real hot.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Did you get into that? Thought it was cool. I don't know if I ever played a full-fledged FMV, but I played games with cutscenes that were FMV. Like I remember specifically Mech Warrior 4 on PC. Like it had this really low budget opening, but I really just thought it was awesome at the time. It was just like these live actors and these real live action, and these real like mechs and stuff running around, and I thought that was cool. And I'm not against it. I'll put it that way. Now, there was a Videogeddon where we played a game, and it was an FMV game on PlayStation, and I don't remember the name of it. I want to say it was Night Shift, I think, maybe.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We passed the controller around and made decisions for this guy who had, got involved with the wrong people or something.
Yeah. It seemed like I almost say, like an early take on modern FMV. They were like, we can do this now. Let's try it. And
right. Like let's. It
was kind of like the first,
Yeah, foray into that.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think I got great reviews, but I
don't hate it.
Maybe it's just not what everybody likes. I'm looking at this X-Files. There's 4 discs here. I haven't played. No, I like the X-Files. I
love the X-Files.
I'm not an expert in it, but I do. I like the vibes and a lot of the episodes I've seen.
Love that opening.
I might, try this if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would love to play that.
The thing is, though, when I play, and again, not to dwell too long on this one tweet, but when I've played FMV games in the past, I find them very tedious in that in order to, you'll get to a point where, like, you get stuck, you can't do it. Now there's no, like, you got to restart the game. You got to watch all that over again.
Oh, yeah, that is tough.
And I can't do that. Night Trap is like that. There's a psychic detective game I have that's like that I've played, and it kind of turns me off from a lot of them.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unskippable cutscenes always suck.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have the Retro-lectors.
Retro-lectors!
Final Fantasy 15. Thank God it's over. Not my favorite Final Fantasy game. Final set pieces were gorgeous, but overall felt like a slog to get through it.
Oh, boy.
We've all been there, Jake.
We've all been there.
We've all struggled to get through a game. What's the last game you played through that you finally got credits on, but looking back, you're like, that was just way too long?
Man, I don't know. I don't beat a lot of games.
What games have you stopped playing because it became a slog?
Final Fantasy 15.
Really?
that is one. I don't know. It just felt tedious.
What Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter was definitely that way, and I definitely stopped playing it because it the joy that people derive from that game is the grind, and I get that it is fun. But I felt, I still felt like even as accessible as Monster Hunter World was, and as successful as it was, and I'm glad it is, it still felt grindy.
Right.
To a level where I'm not okay with it. Yeah.
Okay.
That might be a good example.
I have a couple here. I'd say a couple of the Assassin's Creed games I played felt, maybe 4 or 5 hours too long. One that would piss a lot of people off. I thought Chrono Trigger was really drawn out.
Yeah, you don't like that game.
I liked the game for a while.
Right.
But eventually I was like, when are we done?
When is this over?
When is this over? All right.
Oh.
So the Polykiller is going to be Miles at Flack of Nerds. Who plays video games when he's not chasing mysterious floating orbs around his apartment. Finished Dead Cells, Sniper Elite 3, and Tetris Effect.
Very nice.
So good job, Miles. Those Sniper Elite games, I have a lot of fun with those. They're derided, but they're
4 fun. Just dropped on Game Pass. I've been thinking about jumping in there just to shoot some Nazi balls.
Yeah, well, you better.
Yeah.
We don't need those guys procreating any more Nazis.
No, let's castrate them.
Yep.
Let's castrate them from several yards away.
What are you saying? Do you want to read the Caltech ad like that?
No.
Okay. Caltech is making robots and shit. We at Caltech are starting to specialize in autonomous systems for agricultural problems. Some projects we've worked on in the past include assisting Virginia Tech in an international robotics competition in Abu Dhabi. It's not where the Burj Khalifa is, I've learned.
But that is where Garfield always wished to ship Nermal off to.
Was it Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi.
Interesting. Consulting on an emergency medical software communication system used in emerging countries, and helping Travis beat Double Dragon 2. And it's true, I could have done it without him.
Could not.
There is no software development project too big or too small. Drop Caltech a line at info@cowden.tech if you are interested in working together or curious to learn more. That is info@cowden.tech.
All right. Thank you, as always, to Caltech for sponsoring, even though you never listen.
You do not ever listen. We could just not read that and just rake in the tens of dollars.
We should stop, honestly.
We should. It really slows it down.
The pace is dead. We've killed it. All right, so let's restock the log in the foreplay. Let's do that.
Or if you like what you're hearing so far, you can find everything we do on polykill.com.
Okay.
Search Polykill Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to find us there. Reach out to us on the forums at cartridgeclub.org. The game of the month of the Cartridge Club this month, the next month being December, will be DuckTales. Woohoo.
Wii U.
Yeah. Wii U.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's my joke.
Yeah, it was a good joke years ago. And Capcom Classics Collection remixed on the PSP for the Cartridge Club Portable.
There you go.
Drop us a line, ask us a question, share an idea at polykillpodcast@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes or whatever service you use. Let's get to that ground game. Now, Jake.
Let's talk about it.
Last time, off the cuff, I didn't think about it. It was unfortunate.
It was...
I made some family, so I thought maybe... family was the avenue to go. I thought maybe it was
and it made sense. It was a pre-Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, sitting down. Your Nana's there. She's got mashed potatoes dripping off into her boobs because she's old and she doesn't hold it in her mouth well. The mouth sphincter is all to hell.
Yeah.
And maybe look over at her and be like, Nana, listen, it's your later days. You're probably not going to... This is probably the last Thanksgiving. Maybe get a little Polykill in you before you die. And...
no one cared.
Well... they didn't. And I think maybe it's because grandmas don't use Twitter. They could not reach out and say, hey, I love this podcast.
I love those young men.
Those young men, the baritone one sounds very sexy. We didn't get that.
No, we didn't.
So this time I was thinking, and I've been bringing up the baby a lot. I'm a proud dad. But I'm thinking, this is a weird connection, but I just recently signed up for trash pickup. Now, in the past, we've had trash pickup in my neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood with a cul-de-sac and trash cans and all that stuff, but I'm a cheap bastard. And I saved that $8 a month to put trash in my own pickup truck and drive it 4 minutes down the road to a dumping station.
Right.
But now, my house trash now has a lot of shit in it.
And you don't want to, stow that until trash takeoff day.
No.
You want to put that outside.
You want to get it out, just let other people handle it.
Right.
And I've only had it for a week, but I see these guys out there, these hardworking waste management folk. I won't call them trash men or trash women.
Right.
Because they could
you don't know their life.
They could have good taste in things. I don't know if they're trashy. But they're waste management folk, and they're out there driving these big trucks, managing, all this equipment, trash. I mean, I don't want to say they're heroes, but I mean, they are doing a great service to us.
Yeah, they're the house flies of the neighborhood.
That makes it sound that sounds worse than what I said. But they're riding around all day dealing with your shit, literally. Reward them. Go up, interrupt them if they're not. Sometimes they don't leave the truck because it's automated. Go knock on the window, stop them, interrupt them. They'll love it. They don't mind. They love talking to people and say, "Hey, what's your podcast game like, sir? Sir, slow down, sir." He's
driving around all day.
You're driving around all day, dealing with house flies.
Right.
Ask them what the podcast game's like. Introduce them to Polykill. They'll love you.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it. All right, so that's the Polykill ground game this time, the waste management crews in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now we can move on to restocking the log. Jake, take it away.
All right. So when it comes to restocking the log and the full play, now I think it's pretty simple for me. I'm going to restock my backlog with my pickups.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. It's the easiest thing you can do.
Essentially...
You're going to be nuking it anyway. What does it matter?
Right. These will remain, though, because I'm very interested in playing these. Yes. So when it comes to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that'll probably come, obviously, after Red Dead. But it probably also will come after Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because I feel like Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to be a digestible narrative experience that I could play from beginning to end.
So we're looking at 2021?
Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, that's going to be... I'm really looking forward to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Really happy I picked it up, because I do love that new iteration of the franchise. And kind of curious to see if they are going to sort of round out the trilogy with this, if they're going to kind of wrap things up. Over the arc from the reboot in 2015 to
Origins,
Rise.
Odyssey, and now the other one's got to start with an O.
No, I'm talking about Shadow of the Tomb Raider,
You've
friend.
moved on. I took a sip
That's
of
fine.
Coke and zoned out for a second.
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
That's
I had a baby.
But yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is probably up next after Red Dead. And I'm curious to see how they wrap that story up.
Okay. So two things. One, so I agree with you.
Yes.
I wonder if they're going to ramp it up.
I don't know.
It'll just be the end of this version.
Right. And then
I can't imagine, though.
No, I mean, it's... I don't know.
It's true. It's I think it's popular, but...
I feel like it's quality and well-regarded critically, but I don't know how it's selling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're kind of... I don't know there. Do you think I would consider Origins a almost reboot?
In a way, yes. It's kind of a transitional game.
Do you think that it has its... Now, do Odyssey and Origins connect in any way?
I don't know, Travis. Okay. I don't know.
I'm just wondering if it has its own little storyline with it, too.
I think timeline-wise, I could be wrong about this, but I think Odyssey takes place before Origins.
That's obnouse.
I think it is.
God, I hate names of things.
I know. I really hate the names.
Don't name it Origins if it's not the fucking beginning of it.
I know. But the way I understand it, because I watched one of these Did You Know Gaming development videos on Assassin's Creed Odyssey a while back, and the way this happened was that Assassin's Creed Origins obviously was meant to be a transitional game between a regular old action game, stealth action, which was the sort of formulaic Assassin's Creed that we all got to know, and they wanted to transition to an RPG, an action RPG. So what they did is this development team started making Odyssey. They built all the systems like the RPG stuff, and then handed it off to the Origins team. Then Origins went off and made Origins. And then the whole time they were making and releasing Origins, Odyssey team was in the background making Odyssey, which is a more full-fledged RPG than Origins was.
Interesting.
So, yeah, this one has dialogue options, leveling, loot, and so it's like an RPG now.
Huh.
So I'm very excited to play it, actually.
Really?
Because it's going to have RPG stuff. It's going to have the stealth kills. It's going to have great combat because the combat in Origins was good. It's going to be better than that.
So it's going to feel maybe a little more like a Witcher?
It's been compared to the Witcher Wild Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I read a quote from some journalist that was like, nobody's made as rich of an open world as this since Witcher Wild Hunt. Obviously Red Dead wasn't out at the time, but that was the comparison. So It makes a lot of sense that you would come to that conclusion as well.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
So, yeah.
So we're looking at those are coming up, you said next?
Yeah, I think that'll be the next set of games, new games that I get to off my backlog. I'll probably throw some other random stuff in here.
We're saying the RPG is dead.
Well, I'm not saying that.
The gold is dead.
I'm not saying that. There's still a month left in this year.
That's not enough time for you to beat anything.
I know. We'll see, though.
All right.
We'll see.
I again on that Game Gear.
Yeah.
I started playing a game that I actually didn't know I had. I found it in my house. It wasn't on any of my inventory sheets. It was left here by a Game Fairy.
That's incredible.
Shinobi on the Game Gear. One of the more, I guess, touted Game Gear games. And fun. There is you start out and there's 4 levels and you beat each level and you recruit a new ninja.
Okay.
Who has his own special abilities. You can sort of pick which level you go to and which ninjas you want. And then it's this final gauntlet of levels where you use all their special power. That's hard. That part's hard.
Sounds hard.
Yeah, but I got pretty far into it. I was actually really liking it.
Nice.
Before I got kind of stuck, there's a difficulty spike way near the end, and I wasn't able to beat it. But like what I played so far.
Cool.
Again, I don't know if I'll beat it because it might be a little too steep for old Trav. But I mean, it's my first foray into Shinobi.
Sweet.
It's an important Sega. I think it's a Sega property, maybe.
I don't know.
It's definitely. Well, maybe not because there's a Tengen Shinobi on the NES, but. I don't know. I just tied it to Sega, and I never played any Shinobi, so this was fun.
There you go.
I enjoyed it. You have bestowed upon me 2 games that I requested from your Switch collection.
Correct.
Those include Mario Tennis Aces. I've heard good and bad things, but I'm in a sporty mood kind of league. That's why I got Mutant Football League.
Sure.
Looking forward to playing some tennis.
Yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's Mario Tennis. You're going to have fun.
It'll be fun.
You might be a little underwhelmed with the adventure mode.
Okay, that's the campaign.
Okay,
yeah, that's
cool. But it's Mario Tennis. It's fun.
I like being underwhelmed. Yeah. I played Mojo World.
Yeah.
And then Runner 3.
Yeah.
Now, Josh and I just finished BitChip Runner 2.
Right.
On the Wii U a few weeks ago. It was a long ongoing game that we had played, hung over the night after we'd hung out for years. And we finally beat it. He just downloaded Runner 3.
Okay.
And, I don't like to download games that are physical. We've been over this.
Right.
So I'll just borrow your copy until I buy my own version.
There we go.
I don't know whether there's a weird aversion to that. I could just download it. I don't know. It's stupid. But you have it. It's free.
I have it.
Borrow it.
Yeah, you can just borrow it.
So I'm excited to play that.
Yeah.
So there's that. Restock the log with that. And then I've also started my dive into Red Dead.
Yeah, you have.
And I'm maybe 5 hours in.
Yeah.
Roughly.
According to my comparison sheet.
Yeah.
On my Xbox Live profile.
You're in you got your binoculars fixated on my game room. I know
that's not
weirdo. True. You weird son.
It's not true.
Weird son of a bitch. No, I'm enjoying it, and we've talked about how deliberately slow it is at the beginning.
Right. Slow burn.
And I was getting a little restless. I was like, let me out of this snow.
And it's so intentional that you feel restless.
I was so restless.
Yeah.
The minute it set me loose, I just went sprinting into the woods and shot 4 rabbits and was just humping the trees and shooting random innocent people. No, I didn't do any of that. But I did enjoy finally being able to go make a decision on my own. And it was so fun.
Just have some of those extemporaneous moments that you get in that game. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the lighting. Oh my gosh.
It's gorgeous.
And it's so, I guess it's so, it's not going to knock you off your feet, but you'll just, if you notice something about a scene, you're just inside maybe inside of a building and the sun's kind of setting and you kind of why does this look so good? It's probably the lighting. They've done so well with everything.
I'm going to say that game does knock me off my feet. It does. And you haven't been to these places yet, but when you sunrise in the swamps or, just a clear day in the snowy mountains when you can just go where you want to in the snowy mountains or, just the moon over a grassy plain. It's just gorgeous. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. And even of course, the first thing I did, like as soon as the game, not even like when you get to break free, but like as soon as I could control my character when we're outside of a cabin at the very beginning in the snow, is trace a dick in the snow, big one, and then took a screenshot of it. Was like playing Red Dead,
nice.
And but that factors into like even when you go down a muddy street or something like that. I mean, just watching the wagon wheels go through the mud, like all that stuff remains.
Yeah,
it's there.
So many details.
And little stuff like that.
Dude, like they forgot nothing.
And two, I was noticing the other day, just walking, and I walked like out of a creek, across some grass, across a road, and like all those things had different sounds. Like I was wet-footed for a while, and then it was just impressive.
Yeah, like once you kill an animal and throw it over your shoulder, the blood will stay on your coat. It'll get in your hair. It'll get in your beard.
Yeah,
I mean
the beard grows. You get dirty.
Yeah,
there's
roll
all that
around in
stuff.
the mud.
And it does kind
of. And people
like,
react to you differently when you're covered in these things.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed too, I'm wondering how much dialogue they recorded, because
over 500,000 lines.
I bet, and I bet some of those twice, because
at least.
I was going to say, like, if you're further, someone could be talking to you, and if you get further away from them, they yell,
start yelling
they
at
talk,
you.
they talk louder. So that's at least 2 recordings right there. So stuff like that, man, it's impressive. It's just Rockstar being Rockstar, man. Or they just overload you with details.
You're scratching the surface.
Sure.
I mean, you haven't even started scratching. You're like thinking about scratching.
I'm sniffing the surface,
top edge of the surface. Yeah, like it's so good, and like I really, and part of the discussion that we had on the Cartridge Club Prime podcast about it was like, what was your expectation going in? And I was the only one who was like, I didn't care. Because I didn't. Like, anytime we came up on the podcast or someone talked about it, I was like, I don't care. Because, like, Rockstar games always just end up being too much for me. I feel way too overwhelmed with them.
Yeah.
And I should, much more so, with Red Dead 2, but I do not.
You're married to it. You love it.
I do, and I am.
I will say I do have a bit of a thing I don't like about it, and it could just be I'm new. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
I feel like there's the same button, or different buttons will do the same shit depending on context. Like, I'll be somewhere and it'll be like, push X to pick this up. And then it'll be like, push B to pick this up at a different time. And it'll be like, push right bumper to pick that up. I'm like, why
doesn't
there
happen?
A pickup
but there
button?
is a Y and X correlation that happens.
Okay.
So Y is to pick up something to look at that you may or may not take. And X is to pick it up. Y is to loot. X is to pick them up. Like I'm referring to a body.
Okay.
Or Y is to skin if it's an animal, and X is to pick up. So like there's context, and once you kind of get the syntax of it, it makes a little more sense. And then, like, I will say it still can throw you.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really gotten a grip on it. I just kind of do whatever it tells me to do at the bottom right at this point.
Yeah, and you should.
And also controlling the horse is fine, but like I also feel like X or A rather does some different stuff. That I haven't quite figured out yet. Like pressing it, you can move it. You mash it, you go fast, and then
you want to tap it in rhythm of the hoofs beats.
But if you double pat, you get in front of a companion. If you hold it, it'll just go.
Right, you'll place with them. Yeah, there's a lot to it.
I also wish, this is my last.
Also, to slow down your horse.
Yeah, right. Bumper.
R1. Yeah, they don't tell you that.
They do, actually.
Do they? Yeah. I must have missed it, because I found that last week. I was like, oh shit, I can slow my horse down.
Yeah, actually, I did know that. Another thing that really bothers me about the game is there's no fucking speed walk. There is saunter slow as fuck through ankle-deep quicksand, or sprint. And I want there to be just a brisk little walk.
Now, here's what I did.
Please.
There are accessibility options in the game for those with limited mobility or a handicap. And part of those accessibility options are to toggle run. Now, a toggle run means you don't have to tap A to run, but it's not as fast as you can go. So like when you're walking, if you hit A, it'll move to kind of a jog. And then if you tap A, you'll go full on sprint. So switch that.
So switch it to what?
Switch it to toggle.
Toggle.
Not press or whatever it's called, hold, or
man, that's extremely helpful, because that
like that helps me a lot, because I can just tap A and he just goes.
Yeah, that's great, because anytime
it's not like all out run.
I like burst through doors like Kramer when I don't mean to.
So much, I love it.
And I'm just trying to open a fucking door. But anyway, Good game. I like it.
Great game.
Again, like you said, I've only scratched the surface, and I've been pining to play it pretty much all day. Like, I'm pretty much going to kick you immediately out of here so I can go.
I'm going to go home and play it.
Yeah,
so.
Good. Do you have anything else right there on the old foreplay, Jacob?
I don't. I'm just going to keep playing Red Dead until I am tired of it.
All right.
And that'll be it.
We have a lot of questions to get to.
A lot of questions to get to, and I know you guys, it's already been like an hour already.
Has it been?
It's close. It's close. But that's fine. We've had good energy. People love us.
Have we had good energy? I don't think people love us.
Yeah, they love us.
All right.
Let's
we go.
get to it.
All right. I'll go.
Let's not rush it.
I won't rush it. Don't rush it. Joe. Angry CDN Decepticon.
Yeah.
That's Canadian. Decepticon.
CDN. Okay.
2 games, 1 system, and a cup. If you had to sell everything off, what would be the 1 system and the 2 games for it that you would keep? You can use your imagination on what the cup would be used for. Thanks for all the entertainment you provide with the show. Well, thank you, Joe. That's very exciting.
See, he loves us.
There's one of them.
There's one
person.
Okay. Do you have an answer?
I want you to go first because I'm interested to see, as a guy that doesn't collect as frugal or as ambitiously as I do,
okay,
what would you do?
This is really tough. I honestly think I would keep the Switch because of its versatility.
Yeah.
So that would be the console that I would keep. The games, I think one would have to be Breath of the Wild because I haven't finished that yet.
And there's a lot to do there.
There's a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
It can keep me busy.
Yeah.
As far as the other one, I really don't know. I've had a few things kind of like cross through my brain. Dead Cells came to mind, but that's kind of, it seems like a weird one, but it's very replayable, and I think there's a lot to it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really land on it. I mean, Dead Cells is a candidate. I think Mario Kart 8 is a candidate. I think Octopath Traveler could be a candidate. Like, I don't know, because I'm trying to confine it to the Switch and the games that I have. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, which way should I do it? Should I keep 2 games because I won't have any other games and it will force me to finally play these games?
Right.
Or do I keep 2 games that just define me and I love? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's multitude of approaches here.
Right. I think I'm probably going to go with force me to play it.
Oh?
Force me to play it.
So what you keeping? What console you keeping?
I think the Super Nintendo.
Snails.
I've played a lot of the key titles on the NES. While it is my favorite, most nostalgic, and I'm a lot of NES games. I love it. I've beat a lot of cream of the crop on that. Played through it. Pretty familiar with the key components of the library. For the Super Nintendo, I still need to beat and play Earthbound. That's one. And also something like maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another one. Shadowrun comes to mind. I don't know if that's really cream of the crop. But something like that, the Super Nintendo for sure. Or maybe Final Fantasy 3. There you go.
Okay.
There's 2 games right there, Earthbound and Final Fantasy 3. Big old titles. Few dozen hours apiece, and just having those. And I love the Super Nintendo. I mean,
you do.
There's a lot of good stuff there. So I think that's my choice.
Okay.
All right, number 2, Jake.
This is still from Joe.
It's still from Joe?
Yeah.
He gave us 3 questions here. Of course, we did that episode a while back where we did a fuck, marry, kill of video game villains. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to revisit that soon. That was so fun. I enjoyed that myself. He says, F, marry, kill. You get to choose between myself, which would be Joe, Bill from STC Pod, his co-host, and Kevin of Retro Fandango. So that's 2 STC Pod and Retro Fandango, 2 Cartridge Club mainstays, podcast-wise. Who do you fuck? Who do you marry? And who do you kill?
Okay.
Of that group.
So do you have an order here?
Yeah, I think, I'm looking at these 3 guys, handsome Canadian men.
Yeah.
Okay, very much so. I've had the pleasure of actually meeting 2 of them in person. Bill has long, luscious locks of hair.
Whoa.
Kevin has his stare goes right to your soul. You feel like he's been dating you for a couple semesters when he looks at you.
Okay, a couple semesters. I like that you put that time frame on it.
But I look at Joe, and I've only seen pictures of him online. But what a stud! I want to be on that. So I would love, Joe, if you won't mind, fucking you. I wouldn't mind that.
Let's make another baby.
Yeah. When I see Bill and Kevin here, you know, and you see those two guys, and you're like, man, one of you got to die.
It's harsh.
I think what would help us as a podcast, Jake.
Okay.
And being that STC Pod won the podcast of the year last year.
I see what you're going for here.
And we thought, you know, of course they deserved it. They're but they're competition, man. They're huge competition for us. And so is Retro Fandango, to be fair. But I think STC Pod having already won it, I think if we kill Bill, that'll really hurt them. You know, that'll give us a leg up. Now, again, I like Bill a lot. He made the great photoshops of us.
Oh, yeah.
Talented guy, real friendly. You know, I loved meeting him. And he and Kevin did a great podcast there in Chicago. But
he's got to die.
He's got to fucking die. I want to fuck your co-host and kill you. And then I'm going to marry your rival.
Okay.
Their rival there, Retro Fandango, another just juggernaut in the Cartridge Club. Kevin, I think he's intellectual enough to keep me engaged over the course of a marriage. He and I think we'd spend a lot of evenings out on the porch petting cats and reading just, you know, really intellectual, you know, Frank Herbert novels.
Nice.
Which are just 100% Dune, I think. I don't know if he's written anything else.
Sure.
But yeah, we would do that. You know, we'd be smart guys, smart old
guys.
Yeah, I think so. Do you just want to use my answer?
I was going to.
Okay.
Because I'm bad at things. Yeah, no, your justification. Like, I could come up with nothing better.
There you go.
I really couldn't. Yeah.
And then lastly here, he says, do you have a crazy Black Friday story to share that either happened to you or that you have overheard from someone else?
I don't really have any crazy Black Friday stories. Now, I used to go out and brave the crowds because I kind of enjoyed the energy.
Yeah.
The sort of frenetic.
It doesn't seem like you.
Well, it's more of like a. Not that I want to participate, but observe.
You wanted to see a dead body.
I didn't want to see people die.
You didn't? Okay.
But I like seeing people fight.
Really? That makes me uncomfortable.
No, I like it. Man. Because it makes me uncomfortable. You know, like pushes me a little bit.
Pushes you to what?
I don't know.
What are you going to do in that moment?
Cope with feeling uncomfortable. It's actually really fun to have your stress, you know, your physiological stress reactors be of use in a situation like that. Because, like, most of the stress that people like you and I encounter are, like, in meetings or deadlines or grades or something like that. And, you know, your heart rate elevating and your palms getting sweaty do not help in that situation.
No, they don't.
But if you're in a fight and someone's trying to grab you, having that extra energy from a higher heartbeat and being slippery because you're sweaty could be useful.
True.
So it's nice to have those reactions be somewhat useful.
I'm a total coward. When I see a fight break out, I just leave. Like, if someone's, like, picking up, like, a 40-inch flat-screen TV and they're about to hit an 8-year-old kid, I'm like, I don't even want to see that kid get hit. I'm not even going to try to save him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk away.
Just walk away. I think there's, I don't know. It seems to me that Black Friday stuff is calmed a bit. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not paying attention.
I'm wondering if it's because of where we are. Maybe we're in a place that's not.
Yeah, we don't get the crazy crowds.
We don't. I did. I have gone out on some Black Fridays in the past, and the best story I have is just waiting way too long for stuff that was gone when I got in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's generally how I've never had great luck in those.
Yeah.
Like physically, like, brick and mortar store things. So, yeah, sorry, don't have anything great.
Maybe that's good, though. I'm glad I don't have a good story.
I'm okay with it.
I tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
All right, take Musty here.
All right, so our friend Musty Hobbit of Second Breakfast says, we always hear about your gaming bucket list, but what about your non-gaming bucket list? Share with us up to 3 items on each of your bucket lists. What do you have on your bucket list?
Yeah, I have one, and it's sort of, I'm inspired by my own brother, who, because he's like me, he's very frugal.
Okay.
Anytime that he can pinch a penny, he'll do it. He got paid a little extra in the Army to be a paratrooper. Now, they'd have to pay me a lot to jump out of airplanes.
A lot more than a little extra.
That many times, yeah. But that's what he did. And I've always been and I don't know if it's because growing up I knew my brother did that.
Okay.
I was very intrigued by just jumping
out of a plane.
Jumping out of a plane.
Perfectly good airplane. Nothing wrong with it.
I know. My dad would always make that joke, too.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you jump out of a perfectly good running, no smoke?
No smoke.
You jump in, the door's open, you just jump out.
You just jump out.
Yeah, I think that would be exhilarating. I would be...
No doubt.
I would wet myself before I got up there. Like,
I'm
almost too scared to do it, but I want to do it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, see, that was like me talking about the fight thing. It makes you uncomfortable, and you want to kind of push yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
In a way, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's related, but maybe.
Maybe. I just want to kind of say I've done it, I guess, more than anything.
Okay, you want that notch
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one for me. I'll just take another one here.
No, go for it. We're sharing up 2-3.
It's another physically exhilarating one.
Ooh.
Hike the entire Appalachian Trail.
Hike the AT.
Do it. I'd like to do a through hike. I'd love to take
continuous?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 or 7 months and just do it. I've known a lot of people to do it.
Yeah. I know a guy.
You know a guy that's not. He listens to our show, in fact, or used to, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Hi, Dustin.
Dustin.
Yeah.
I knew. Yeah.
Big Bad Wolf, a.k.a. Big Bad Wolf. Yeah.
He probably gave up on us. We got bad there.
Yeah,
for a while.
we're bad.
But doing that would be great.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Put a notch in the old belt or whatever.
Yeah.
Now that I have sort of a stable career and a family, it probably is not going to happen.
That's never going to happen for you.
It's usually
that's why it's on your bucket list.
If you're a divorcee, that's usually what you do.
Or retired, but still kind of healthy enough to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gosh, I don't know. Maybe take one while I think of a third.
Sure. Like one for me is go to Alaska. I want to go to Alaska and just like be in that open, untamed.
We're outdoorsy and at heart, it sounds.
We are. I think there's a fascination because we are so like, we live our lives on screens and, we're always fooling and fiddling around with technology and stuff. I think there's just this attraction to the opposite of that, where it's just a big sky and stuff out there that could kill you. And you're just out in the wilderness and it's got to be gorgeous. It's got to feel good to breathe that air. And yeah, like I'm really jonesing to give that a shot. I know a guy who has parents that might be moving up there when they retire. So like there is a chance that I could go up there and spend some time. And I don't know. I think it would be exhilarating. Go out on the coast, see some whales or something. Yeah. I don't know. Do all that stuff.
Fish. That's what. Anytime I think of Alaska, there's a bear eating a fish.
Yeah, just pulling it out of the air. Boom, right into another bear's mouth.
Yeah.
Then winking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Giving each other a bear fight when they're done. Yeah. That actually is partly my third one.
Okay.
And it's close. I've always wanted to do an Arctic cruise. Everyone does Bahamas.
Oh, yeah. Don't give me that.
I want to go up. I want to see.
Miss me with that humidity, fam.
Yeah, dude. And I want to be, I'm very fascinated by big, dark bodies of water.
Sure.
And like the Arctic Ocean is sort of like, it's still kind of almost a frontier for us as humans, too.
Okay.
But just being up there where there's not even an island to go to. So
yeah.
Like, how they, a Caribbean cruise, you port constantly.
Right.
You're just floating
Go
around.
get some duty-free
there, man. That's what I want. I want serene earth.
Yeah.
That's just me too.
Sky and water.
Almost did it. Almost had a chance to do it, but
damn.
Then I knocked up my wife. I did that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that honestly, in a weird way, kind of ties in with one of mine, and that is to just see real live whales in the wild. Like that's. And this is going to sound maybe really weird of me, but I've always had, and not like in a adolescent elementary school Lisa Frank kind of way, I've really always had this weird connection with whales.
You draw them all over your trapper keeper.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
If I were to get a tattoo, it would probably be something whale related.
Yeah.
No joke. Like one of my favorite bands, Gojira. They do a lot of songs about whales, and that's part of the reason I love them. But I have this fascination and this weird, connection with them in some way. And it's not like I think I can talk to them or that they're like I was reincarnated as a whale at some point in the previous life.
If you were to talk to a whale, how would it go?
Poorly.
Oh, I don't even. How do whales?
Right. I don't know. I mean, I could try to imitate.
I was trying to sucker you into a whale impersonation.
Yeah, man. I don't have a whale impersonation.
You're leaving me dry over here.
Very sorry. But you like being dry, I thought.
Yeah.
So are you done with 3?
Yeah, I did 3. You got one more. You got whales in Alaska.
Oh,
you could probably do in one day.
No doubt. Yeah, the other, I guess, is to go to Tokyo.
Well, that's out there.
The very opposite. Yeah, I would love to go to Tokyo. That culture and that ramen and then video games. I want to do all that.
If there was a fourth, I would have probably done the same.
Nice.
VG Collectaholic. What was your favorite TV show when in elementary school, junior high, high school, and college?
Okay. Let's do these together. Elementary school, both of us.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Elementary school, I was raised as an old person.
Yeah, you were.
I was a very old.
That explains why you're a big kid now.
Oh, no, I wouldn't revert.
You reverted.
There's one TV in our house that had cable, and my mom watched it, and I got to see what she was watching. I liked just about anything that came on A&E that was true crime documentary. But if I had to pick an actual TV show, I would say The Rockford Files.
Rockford Files.
I loved it as a kid.
Classic.
Can you believe it? Elementary school.
Yeah.
James Garner reminded me of my dad.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
I can see that too.
Watched a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Elementary school for me, I was also kind of an old person, but not in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was that age, there was a lot of like Nickelodeon and Nick at Night stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
So and back in those days, Nick at Night was not. I don't even know like what it became, but it was Mr. Ed, Bewitched, A Dream of Jeannie, Dick Van Dyke. So it's going to be in that space, and probably one that I still connect with is the Dick Van Dyke Show. I think he is probably the most gifted physical comedian that has ever lived.
Yeah, he's good.
And that show still makes me laugh.
Yeah,
I'll still watch it. So probably Dick Van Dyke Show.
There you go. Now middle school, junior high, we're calling it here.
Mm-hmm.
I assimilated in with other children.
Sure.
TRL was huge.
Wow.
Every
TRL.
day after school. Gotta know. Vote it.
Okay.
Gotta get Brittany up there. Gotta get her up there.
Did you say Brittany's back, bitch, when she got back to the top of the list?
That was when I was a little older.
A little older. Okay. This is also difficult for me because I honestly didn't watch a lot of TV in this era of my life. So yeah, I don't really have an answer for this at all.
That's fair, because I actually don't have an answer for high school because I played and watched nothing but sports in high school. I can't even remember what TV shows were out during that time.
Yeah, it's difficult. And this is going to be a weird one, but I watched in that age range, so I'm going to say from like 17-ish, I'm talking high school here, 16, 17, watched a lot of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we got some headlines for you. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy, Kevin. Look at this guy, Kevin. Yeah.
That's
Eddie
Kevin.
Murphy.
Oh, is that Kevin?
That's Kevin Eubanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Love that guy. Yeah, I don't know why, but I got really, like, I had like a little handheld TV with an antenna on it. And I would watch that.
This is in the 50s, right?
No. This is 2000. I had a handheld TV and it had like a antenna on it, and I would lay in bed and find a good position for the antenna and just watch Jay Leno every night.
Dude.
Yeah, it's.
Have you gone back and visited your competition camp?
Yes. But actually, it's funny. Like, my wife likes Jimmy Fallon a lot. I'm not huge on him, but she likes him a lot. Mm-hmm. I think he's endearing. But sometimes she'll like be watching like YouTube clips of Jimmy Fallon and then fall asleep, and YouTube will just like, all right, we're gonna do the next one. And I'll come into the bedroom, and it's just like a 3-hour compilation of Jay Leno doing the headline stuff with the newspapers.
Yeah. Oh, those
I'm
are
just
hilarious.
Like,
I love those.
Oh my god, this is such a trip because I remember like all the wedding stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah,
all the weddings, like Stroker Moore wedding, or it's just like, oh my god, these are amazing. And it was just pre-internet bloopers for typos and
for life.
Bloopers great. But yeah, so Jay Leno, there you go.
There you go. College, I could break this down into 2 parts. He originally, I remember the tweet, he had grad school in there, and I remember that's 2 different phases of my life.
Very much so.
College was when I discovered TV, basically.
Okay. 24, right?
24.
Yeah, I knew this was going.
The shit out of 24.
Yeah.
Grad school part 1, lots of Lost.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Grad school part 2, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
And those are shows I remember watching. I associate those with the times I was in school.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've been in college for like 9 years, off and on. So like that has been a lot for me too. Like Sons of Anarchy, big. That watched that from the beginning all the way to the end. 7 years of dealing with all that. Lost, Breaking Bad, like those were the heavy hitters.
Damn, love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Berto Mars, hard or soft? I did this earlier when I was hard or soft shell tacos. Both is not an acceptable answer.
It's soft. Soft is the answer.
I love soft.
Yeah, hard is pointless. It's inferior. It makes no sense. That's not how real tacos are made. They're always rolled. Okay.
It's true.
They're rolled. They're not folded, and they're not crispy. And when you bite into them, the bottom doesn't fall out. Yeah,
I mean,
soft.
If you had 2 wheels, and one wheel cracked every time it hit a rock, and the other wheel went over the rock, which wheel would you like better?
Exactly.
Yeah, soft tacos.
Soft
baby.
tacos,
yeah,
baby.
100%. Mighty Q Dog. he always has some great ones.
Yeah, you
have been sucked into a partially collapsed infinite temporal loop and are thrust back in time 25 years to 1993. Which, by the way, is my favorite year in history.
It's a great year.
You knew that about me.
I did not know that.
Like Dr. Sam Beckett of Quantum Leap, you are yourself, but appear to be a 5-year-old child to everyone else. What do you ask Santa to bring you for Christmas, Jake? 1993.
I don't have my answer just yet. I have a theoretical answer. You go. Do you not have an answer?
I do have an answer.
Go.
What I want when I'm 5 years old is I want, and I never had this as a kid.
Okay.
But I really wanted it.
Uh-huh.
And it defines who I am today because I still have that want.
Oh.
I want a Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
So what I want, I didn't get a Super Nintendo until I was mid-20s.
Okay.
And I get it started off right, 5 years old, get that Super Nintendo. The whole Super Nintendo world's ahead of me. Oh, all that stuff, man.
How amazing would that be?
I know. It seems like a basic, stupid answer, but like I'm almost tearing up thinking about how amazing it would have been to have a Super then frickin' Nintendo in 1993 instead of getting it in 2013.
Have I ever told the story on the podcast about how I almost got a Super Nintendo for Christmas from my grandparents?
Yes, you did. Actually.
I shared it on this show.
Yeah.
I'll recap real quick.
Yeah.
My grandparents bought a Super Nintendo for my sister and I, year of release, with Super Mario World. But my sister and I were not audacious enough to ask my grandparents for a Super Nintendo, so they kept it and installed it in their home, and we could play it when we saw them once a year at Christmas.
And you never got to...
How fucked up is that?
You could have taken it home, but...
Like, how withholding do you have to be? To be like, you didn't ask for it, you don't get it, I'm keeping it. Like, how... That's super fucked up. Like, I'm still mad about that. I don't know if you can tell.
It seems like you might need to talk to a professional about it.
I have.
What are you asking for Santa in 93?
So in 93, and this is going to be, those of you who are toy experts are going to know that this toy did not come out in 1993, but I was the right age-ish, maybe a little old, but I come to most things a bit late. I was huge into G.I. Joes in my early to mid single digit years.
Is that how we're gonna?
Yeah,
you were a child,
I don't know.
When you're early to mid single digits.
Okay. So yeah, there was a contraption made by the Hasbro company for your 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe action figures called the Rolling Thunder. I don't know if you're familiar with this toy.
I know of a video game called Rolling Thunder.
This is not it.
Okay.
This is a 3 foot long on wheels G.I. Joe base that has gunnery chairs on each corner. You got a spot for a driver and a passenger up front, like a navigator. It had a missile in the middle that you could just aim up, because that's like when Desert Storm was going on and there was a lot of anti-scud missiles, so it was kind of like you'd see it on TV and it was like, oh, it's in this toy too, because we wanted to influence our children, I guess. But that would be something like that is what I would ask for, if not that specifically. Because
nice.
I loved that shit.
That's a big toy collector thing too. They go crazy when they find one of those.
Boy, well,
probably worth a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be my answer.
That's a good one.
Because I think it definitely came out before 93. Like, I want to say like 90 or 92.
Yeah.
But I was, like I said, I came to it late.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
It's fine. That's what
I
wanted.
As long as it was out in 93, that's all that matters.
Yay.
Mrs. Q-Dog, white lights or colored lights on your Christmas tree?
White.
Mine are actually more of an amber.
Okay. That's nice.
I think they qualify as white.
Sure.
Retro Nonsense, old Duke. Who had most of your favorite NES-era games, Nintendo, Capcom, or Konami? I had to think about this one a little bit because there's so many good games on each.
Real quick, I want to go circle back to Ms. Q-Dog's question real quick.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to...
So, no, that's fine. White lights or color lights on your Christmas tree? Now, white lights on the tree, but I will say I am in general not a fan of multicolored lights. What I am a fan of is all blue. I love that for some reason.
Really?
I love that. Like when I see like someone's house decorated in all blue Christmas lights, it makes me really happy. I've loved it since I was a child.
Okay.
Moving on.
I like it tacky as fuck. Yeah, I want all the colors in there. So Duke. Favorite NES era games, Nintendo, Capcom, or Konami? And this is hard question.
This is not hard for me.
Well, it's hard for me, okay?
Right. Because I'm a plebe.
Because I thought about it, and every time I thought about it, I found an exception. I was like, I really like that one. What I'm going to have to boil it down to is just going ahead and saying Nintendo.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Because of Zelda, Metroid, Mario, but there's a lot of good stuff on those other ones. So, I mean, what a time.
Yeah.
What a good time. So your answer is also Nintendo?
Yeah, first-party Nintendo games. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I had so much fun with Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers 3 and Legend of Zelda when I played it and never finished it. But, yeah, tons. Yeah. Tons there.
Yeah, if I had to pick between Capcom and Konami, though...
Oh, that's tougher.
That's really tough.
Yeah, it's a battle for second place at that point.
Because I'm looking at Blades of Steel, I'm looking at Castlevania versus, like, Mega Man and all of the Disney games. And, oh, my gosh, what a slugfest. I couldn't even do it. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it.
I'm going to move on.
Move on.
Miles, Milo the Gathering.
Geek.
He says, I got a big fight coming up. Who's going to train me?
Okay, that's going to be me.
It's going to be Jake.
I'm going to train you how to fight.
I'll train you on how to be a coward and run the opposite direction.
Fetal position.
Fetal defense. That's what I do. People they'll stop hitting you if you're in the fetal crying. Usually.
Okay.
And if they're still hitting you, stop crying. They'll think you're dead. One of the two.
Oh, smart. I like that.
Yep. Fetal defense.
Yeah. But I'll train you.
Yeah.
I can box.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. So Jake's got you covered there.
Yeah.
He says also, part two of his question, which of these characters would you like to have a sensual kiss with? Leonard, that's my cat. Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. King of Cosmos from Katamari, the guy who looks vaguely like a pelvis in the face. Prince Adam from He-Man, or Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Well, honestly, this is no contest.
If we're basing it on my sexual attractions, I'm going to have to go with Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Right.
But who do I think's a better kisser?
Right.
Look at those Ninja Turtle mouths.
Yeah, they're very wide.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I have no idea
I don't know
what that means.
I don't know.
But honestly, I'm thinking Prince Adam might be good at that.
Very passionate guy.
Well, also, usually people with some kind of royal upbringing has lots of manners training and lots of social graces in instruction. So honestly, maybe Prince Adam.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not crazy about his hair.
He's a bit doffed.
A bit doffed and a bit dramatic.
True. I'm still kissing that Ninja Turtle. James of RetroPixel. If an orange is orange, why isn't a lime called a green or a lemon called a yellow?
Right. Now, I think I have an answer for this.
Okay.
All right.
That's
I haven't verified this, but I did read it somewhere at some point, and it was not on the internet.
Which means it's fact.
It was not on the internet, so that definitely helps.
Oh, that's true.
It was in a book. But orange, if I have my facts straight, orange, the fruit, was called orange the fruit before orange the color was referred to as orange the color, which is why redheads have technically kind of orange hair, because red was at one point called red but looked orange. But then when we got orange the fruit, we started referring to orange the fruit as orange the color, and red became more what we know as red.
Sure. Okay. All right.
That's my answer.
Instead of answering this, I'm just going to start calling limes greens and lemons yellows.
You might get some weird looks if you go asking for greens in your Coke or Diet Coke.
Can I get a green in there?
And they're just going to throw some collard greens in there.
Could I get a spot of yellow in my water?
You want some tea? Do you want a yellow?
And people start pissing in my drink.
You know it.
Diego. Okay. So we all know my boy Trav likes to say that some games are tits.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure I heard him say Spider-Man on PS4 was tits. And that's true.
Yes.
A lot of things are tits. I like to... you know who loves tits?
Go ahead.
My baby.
Oh, yeah.
She is a tit machine. She might like them more than me. I tend to think... this is Diego again. I tend to think Spidey on the PS4 looks very pleasant, well-balanced, and voluminous.
Okay.
Which is kind of like breasts, but
Sure.
he's talking about the game, of course.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm guessing he's referring to Jennifer Love Hewitt tits rather than saggy, tired, depleted Judi Dench tits. Am I right? Oh, Diego, you devil. So what kind of games do you think you could describe with the following body parts?
I like this.
So getting away from tits a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Appendix. That game in your collection you forgot you even have until you mess around with it and you immediately feel the urge to get rid of it.
Ooh.
Let's start there.
That's
What game
a good
is your
one.
appendix?
Yeah. What game would you perform appendicitis? I mean, an appendectomy on.
Right. So
Gives you
you're going to have it, then I play it, and I'm like, why do I keep doing this?
Why am I doing this to myself? Do you have an answer?
Not off the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Not off the tip of my appendix.
Yes. I feel like there's a couple different ways I could go with this. And I'm going to go ahead and say, for me, one of those is Skyrim.
Oh, very good answer, I think. Yeah.
Because every time, like, it's just Skyrim. Like, people still play it. People still love it. They're still making it again and again and again in different places. And then I just kind of forget that I have it, and I jump in, and I'm like, man, I am still just days away from completing this game. It's overwhelming. There's too many points of interest on the map. And I just bail immediately. I hit that eject button.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, boy.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
Cat's out of the bag.
I'm not sure when I stopped having fun with it, but I can't beat it. And now it's like going back. I just wish it never existed.
Blah.
Adam's Apple.
Okay.
Now this is interesting. He says that game that 100% undeniably stamps you as a bro, no matter how much makeup you put on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what he's going with is that game that sort of maybe gives people the wrong outlook of you
as a quote gamer.
As a gamer, even if you like the game.
Right. They assume that when you purchase and or play this game that you probably also have a stockpile of Monster Energy hats.
Right. Well, a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
I kind of want to go sports games.
Yeah, you could.
I know I haven't played in a while, but I'll still sometimes, if the mood strikes my loins, I will fire up NCAA Football 14.
That's
on
very broy.
My Xbox 360.
You're probably not going to play that game without an Adam's Apple. I could be wrong.
The subreddit. Oh yeah, you're probably wrong. But I mod the subreddit.
Yeah.
I am the leader of my people.
Yes.
You're
the Moses of NCAA 14.
Truthfully, yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's one.
Yeah, for me the answer is Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I love Call of Duty. And it's not even a guilty pleasure. Those are quality experiences, and I'm happy to play them.
All right. Well, you're being assertive, and that's fine. Acne. These are all A's, by the way.
Yeah, they have noticed
Appendix,
this.
Adam's Apple, Acne. That game you just can't get rid of no matter how hard you try. Now, I could say
almost Final Fantasy VII.
I could say that.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm going to have to say here, Persona 5.
I knew that was going to be it.
And then when I say get rid of it, I ain't trying to get rid of it in a way
like trying to finish it.
Hitting like a booger
trying
on my
to
finger.
Pop that thing.
I'm just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
Trying to pop that acne. That's
exactly.
a good point. Yeah, trying to pop that zit. Trying to break through.
Yeah, break on through to the other side.
Get the squirmy yellow stuff out of it. Whatever that stuff is. What is it?
Pus, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, a lot of like face oils and dirt.
Okay.
Just collapsed into one little pore.
I was fairly acne free as a young.
That's impressive.
I don't think I've hit
kind of was
puberty
too. Yeah,
you hit puberty
might.
Yet.
No, I think you have.
All right,
you got a baby. I'm going to go. Man, this is tough, but I think I'm going to have to go with Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Because this is a game that I'm really feeling bad about not having played yet. More than I have.
I keep putting it off.
I know you do.
Putting games in front of it.
So many games.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that honestly. This might be another discussion in front of the podcast, but I think that perhaps my perception on open world games is shifting a bit. I'm hardcore against for most of the time.
Against because personally
overwhelming, too much to do.
Not that they're bad ideas.
No,
right.
But just they're not necessarily for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think potentially that Red Dead is changing my mind on that. So I feel like that's a next direction to go into.
All right.
Boom.
And finally, number 4 here.
Did you give one?
Yes, I did. I said Persona 5.
Yeah, you did.
Number 4 here, another Aorta. That game that, if taken away from you, would result in immediate death.
Immediate. Now, this is tough because I tend to think in terms of immediacy, as in like where I am right now, and not necessarily in my gaming history. How are you looking at this?
A game I couldn't do without, like...
But see, I don't go back to games.
I don't either.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know what to do other than what I'm playing.
That's a good way to... Yeah, because, maybe that's the way to do it.
Okay.
And I know yours is easy
I'm fine with
because
that.
you're basically playing one game.
Yeah, it's honestly just Red Dead Redemption 2. If I didn't have that, I'd be a little sad.
But let's say like 2 months ago, you're playing, you're not playing Red Dead, you're playing maybe Spider-Man, maybe you got, I can't remember what you were playing, but at that point, was there a game... I think now the question is more pertinent because you love Red Dead.
Yeah.
You liked those other games, but this, it makes sense for it to be Red Dead right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is, yeah.
And I think
that's my answer.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree. I mean, I'm just, like you said, I'm beginning to look at the surface from which I will begin
There's
to
so
scratch.
much potential there, though, for you.
You'd
be sad if you missed it.
Yes, man. And what I've played so far, I've loved. Now, when I get to the end, I might look back on it and be like, that was okay. But right now, I'm in it. I love it.
Sure.
It's a big world. Big, pretty world.
Yeah, boy.
I think that's my aorta right now today. You asked me today. That's my aorta.
All righty.
Big old, long, girthy round around the base.
Yeah.
Good foundation episode there for you to chew on. Don't know what we're going to name it. Maybe that. Good round the base, good foundation episode there for you to chew on.
That's SEO
81.
gold.
I know. So many listens because of that SEO.
Love it.
But thanks, everyone, for first of all, submitting all those questions.
We appreciate that.
That was great.
Very helpful.
We'll do better about preparing an episode so we don't have to rely on you to do it for us in the future, but this was a lot of fun. We will do this ever so often anyway.
Yeah, we'll never stop this.
We'll never stop till we get enough. Let us know what you think about the way we do the Just Beat It's. Be interested to know.
Yeah, if you have any other ideas, give us a shout out. Like, who knows, there might be other ways that we can recognize and celebrate other than doing what we have, because honestly, it's just it wasn't quite working out.
And I hate to put this at the end of the show. I completely forgot to put it in the front. Go check out Brizz's Fallout 76 video.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny.
It's great.
Next episode, we'll put it in the front.
Yeah.
In case people have already stopped listening. But yeah, check that out. It was really funny. He did it without us knowing, and I just let him upload it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't actually watch it until a couple days after being out there, and it was hilarious.
It's wonderful.
I'd like to see him do a whole podcast by himself of us. That'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
All right, so that pretty much does it for the show, guys. We'll catch you next time. Oh, I'm at Trav Plays Games on Twitter, by the way, if you want to check it out.
Yeah, and I'm at the Mike Axel on that thing, too, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.